Welcome back to Autism at Home and our Homemaking Learning Fun series. Here's what we're covering in this series. How to be fun, how to identify your child's interests, essentially what motivates your child, how to increase their interests, and how to incorporate these interests into your child's learning, and lastly, a few more fun ideas just for fun. Now, in case we haven't met, my name is Joshabeth Isaacs from Early Autism Project, Malaysia, and this series is brought to you by Autism at Home, an online resource platform which is part of our non-profit initiative. Now, the reason we're talking about being fun today is because teaching a child with autism comes with enough challenges as it is. Not only do they have many complex skills that need to be learned at the same time, some children may also take a lot longer to learn new skills. So make learning easier by being a fun teacher so that you can build a foundation of strong rapport with your child and essentially become a positive association for them. So in this lesson, we will be covering 3 main points: how to build rapport, how to pair yourself with positive reinforcement, but also some common mistakes to be on the lookout for. Building rapport is so important because it builds a genuine connection, engagement, and positive relationship with the child. This makes learning fun and motivating, which is a particular challenge for some children on the spectrum, which then in turn makes teaching of new and complex skills easier. So here are a few key tips on building rapport. Put yourself in your child's shoes. See it from their perspective. One of our core values at EAP is to be child-centric. This means to put the child, their perspective, and their dignity first. Essentially, you are trying to build a strong sense of trust with them. How this looks like includes being gentle initially, rather than too intrusive or aggressive. Use a softer tone of voice, have a slower pace of approach when starting off, and squat when talking to a child so they are at eye level and it's less threatening. Avoid being over-intrusive when approaching a child, especially in play. Sit next to them, hand them a preferred toy, and then only try playing with their toy. Of course, avoid grabbing the child or their toys away physically. Be sure to comment rather than ask too many questions. Follow your child's lead and respond to their nonverbal requests. Look at what they're looking at, acknowledging and modeling the word to them. Acknowledge also when they may be reaching for a toy or trying to lead your hand towards something. Nonverbal requests may even include honoring your child's request if they want to end an activity they are not interested in. Finally, give choices wherever possible to your child to give them an increased sense of control over their life. Be it which breakfast cereal they want, or what color shirt they want to wear today, or whether they want to go to the pool or to the playground. Point number 2 of being fun is to pair yourself with positive reinforcement. Pairing yourself with positive reinforcement is very important as it teaches children that we, as in the adults, are the positive reinforcement. This builds a positive association as the child learns that good things are coming from us, thus gaining instructional control in order to teach a child, especially more difficult skills. Pairing is actually one of the most powerful teaching strategies, and here are a few tips on how to do it. First, be aware of what your child likes. Then utilize those items when you see your child, especially if you happen to be meeting a child for the first time. Be the one who delivers the goods, be it getting them out of your bag or being the one that can reach that box on the shelf for your child. Try to avoid having these motivating items on the floor or within easy reach where your child can just grab it for themselves. Also, avoid being the one that's always ending a favorite activity or removing a preferred item. Coping with this can be very challenging if your child is not yet familiar with foreshadowing, the counting down process, or the finish box. So if you do have to take something away, there are some ways you can remove the emphasis on yourself looking like the bad guy. Use a timer to indicate the end of the activity. Put away the items in a box or a bag rather than taking it away with your hand. Even better, try to let these activities end naturally on their own. For example, that final puzzle piece or spinning tops that spin to a stop are both examples of natural endings. Now, it's important to provide as many opportunities as possible to pair yourself with reinforcement. And pairing should start right from the beginning of a relationship with a child and should continue for as long as you are working with the child, be it as a teacher or as a parent. As with learning anything new, there are some very common mistakes that can happen when learning how to be the fun one. Now, when I was a therapist way back in 2006, I worked with a little boy in Wisconsin, USA. We would start our sessions at 7 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays because he woke up really early and that was his best learning time. But every time I arrived right through the front door, I could hear him screaming, "No, Joe, no, Joe," stomping up the staircase angrily and running away. You can probably imagine the sessions did not end up being very pleasant and came with a lot of challenging and aggressive behaviors. So I finally asked his mom what was happening before I arrived, only to find out that when he woke up at 6 a.m., he would get computer or TV time right up till the point I arrived. Then when the doorbell rang, his mom would say, "Oh, Joe's here, TV time, all done," and basically switch off his highest motivation in order to start a session with me. Now, knowing this, it was very clear why he was so upset. I was basically the bad guy whose arrival signaled the end of TV time. So with that, it was as simple as ensuring he was not occupied with his TV time about 15 minutes before I arrived. I too upped my game and came with a bigger bag of goodies, which I showed him the minute I came in the door. Now, within a couple of sessions, the sounds after ding dong changed from "No, Joe" to his little voice squealing, "Joe," running down the stairs to me instead of in the opposite direction. So look out for these common mistakes. Pairing yourself with the end of something positive, just like what happened to me. This builds a negative association. Being a bit too eager, which can come off as being loud or intrusive, like, "Hi, I just met you, but I'm gonna tickle you, cuddle you, and really invade your personal space because I'm fun and children love tickles and cuddles." Pushing demands too much with very minimal reinforcement and doing the same thing repeatedly but expecting different results. Using my example again, imagine if I had just kept doing the same thing every week without being proactive to investigate what was happening before, and then making the changes I did to get a different result. Proactivity and preparation is key to being a fun teacher. Finally, fun teachers are not disinterested or low emotionally, i.e., the grumpy teacher. I know it's not easy being a teacher or therapist, and what more, a parent. However, before we can genuinely be a fun teacher, we have the responsibility to ensure our tanks are filled, that we are well rested and ready to give the best to our kiddos.
Pop quiz. Charlie was meeting his new teacher for the first time. When Charlie's teacher walked through the door, he was playing with his favorite blocks. His teacher crouched down in front of him, smiled, and said gently, "Hello, Charlie. I'm gonna be a new teacher. How about we clean this up and get started?" Charlie began to whine and hit the teacher. Which of the below did the new teacher do right? Bring a reinforcing toy, talk in a soft voice, crouch down in front of him, or give him choices? The new teacher did try to start off on the right foot. She talked in a soft voice and crouched at eye level so it wouldn't be threatening to Charlie. What is one thing Charlie's new teacher could do better? Make sure he's not playing with toys when she arrives. Foreshadow and count down the end of the toy. Spend time playing with Charlie, or keep Charlie's toys out of sight. All of these strategies in general are helpful as preventive strategies. Generally, you do want to keep motivating items out of sight so the child can only access it through the adult, and it is good to foreshadow when a toy is coming to an end. However, as this is the first time Charlie's teacher is meeting him, it's probably best she spends some time playing with him first to build that rapport and relationship.
Well, there you have it. How to make learning fun by being fun yourself. Now it's your turn. First, if you don't already have it, start to build a strong rapport with your child using the strategies you saw in this lesson. Next, find out what they like and pair yourself with it so your child begins to make that positive association that you're the fun one around here. In your quest to become a fun adult, it is normal and perfectly alright to make mistakes along the way. At the end of the day, we need to get interactive and hands-on, and getting a little silly isn't going to hurt anyone. Do lighten up, dress up, incorporate humor and joke around. Remember, your kiddo is not having fun if you are not having fun. So just relax and have a great time. We hope that you have found this topic helpful and are successful in building a positive association with your kiddo. The next lesson will be all about how to identify or find out what your child is motivated by and interested in. If you want to pair yourself with reinforcement but are not even sure what that reinforcement is, this lesson is for you. In the meantime, do check out the rest of our free online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the corresponding articles and downloadables for you. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook to stay updated. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next lesson.